which could get a lot of eyes on, even, regular casual fan eyes on the women's tournament. They spread word of mouth. These women debut on Raw and SmackDown, some of them, and the rest go to NXT. And they've already got a nice route with both casual fans who can remember the ones that are going to NXT when they get called up to the main roster. And of course, the hardcores like us and the NXT faithful will know who will know who they are when they go to NXT.
Right.
And plus, with the shuffling around with everything else that I've mentioned, that kind of gives every roster about exactly as many women as they need for their individual women's divisions.
Mm-hmm. That's also
and
fair.
But that's how I'd do it.
That's fair, yeah.
But what about stuff like mid-card, like the mid-card belts, US and IC?
So it's pretty much assumed that Baron and Dean are going to stay where they are. Kevin and...
As long as their feud doesn't continue.
Finn's going to stay on Raw. Because he
just said the returnees should, like, Hardys should stay on Raw. They've returned.
Okay.
Finn comes back from injury. That's what I was saying. The debuts and the returning people should remain where they've returned and debuted, respectively.
Okay. I agree with that. I would send... Boy, I don't even know, really. Mid-card slot, send Dolph to Raw?
What are you going to do? What are they going to do with him, though? I mean, even SmackDown really hasn't... I hate to say this. I've been sick of Dolph for a while. I get a lot of people like him, and that's why he should stick around, but I'm just wondering, I mean, SmackDown couldn't really do anything. They had him interesting for like a hot minute. And Raw does that too every once in a while. But I'm just... maybe they could use some floats. Like guys who are... And maybe even some women too, who are unassigned, essentially. And they can kind of flop between the roster. Not even necessarily as jobbers, but just as extra hands.
Right.
I mean, they won't do that, of course, but I mean, they've got a big enough roster for it. That would actually allow, like, okay, we need a time filler match. You two, you're not on either. You're two of our floats. You got 7 minutes.
Send Paige.
Yeah, that ship has sailed.
Yeah, there's a great photo today of somebody photoshopped in during the Randy and Bray match. A picture of an unmentionable from the scandal where it projected down onto the ring. Oh, and it was so funny.
Oh my god.
This poor girl. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at it because it's the internet.
In all honesty, I'm of the opinion that if someone there's nothing wrong with those kind of photos. Right. If you're exchanging them between, people who love each other do sexy things together. Oh no. If you find that, if that shit gets leaked and you come across it, I'm of the opinion you don't spread it around. So I'm not, right. I'm not definitely not laughing at the situation. The internet's going to do what it's going to do.
Right.
I mean, I've seen some pretty fucking great photoshops for that. Some really high quality ones too, where it actually looks like, wow, that looks like it's one of the things they projected. Yep. Like they went in and got all meticulous with pixels and shading and stuff. And it's just like, I've seen everything from the shocked Patrick Star. I've seen one where they've people have done GIFs, and it's like Vince revealing himself as the hidden power and shit like that. It's fucking great.
One of my favorite tweets from Mania was, and I said it while we were at the bar, was, I can't wait for the third one to be the keyboard cat. Oh
my god, like I said, not so keen on the Page one, but internet, please let this become the new Randy Orton RKO Vine.
Yep.
It even involves Randy Orton. The dude might suck at WrestleMania, but he's a meme god.
Yep. So the last thing I want to go over here today is the main event, the tag match between Randy Orton and Luke Harper, and Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan. An interesting end. Was Bray the legal man? I must have missed the tag.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure he got tagged in.
Right, because I thought he got tagged in, and then the Bray or the Wyatt, thing goes off, and I'm thinking to myself, they're all out in the ring. Who the hell could that be? And I'm thinking, holy shit, here comes Braun Strowman. No, all of a sudden Bray is laying on the ramp, and they pinned Eric Rowan for the win. So either I completely missed the tag, or they were kind of like, oh, well, look at that. It's 9 o'clock. We got to go.
Look, I can't remember who said this. It wasn't Jim Cornette. Maybe it was Meltzer. It was after WrestleMania 29. They were talking about Bray's match with The Undertaker, and I kind of feel the same way. I agreed with the comment then, and it's applicable now. After he left NXT, WWE has no idea what the hell to do with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
That explains the stop-start booking. I mean, I don't get it. Like, they've had characters similar to him before. They had, what was his name? He kind of honestly looked like Bray, or rather Bray Wyatt looked like him. You saw him around a bit during the old In Your House days. But for fuck's sake, look at Mankind. When he debuted, he was like a proto Bray Wyatt, except, overloading himself with pain and shit. So they've had characters like this before, but they always just let them do their own thing. But that doesn't really fly now. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the fuck to do with him. Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's a weird and complicated character to work with. And maybe the character's just not a main roster character these days. Maybe he's an NXT gimmick, and he should have stayed, and the gimmick should have stayed in NXT even if the wrestler came up. I don't know.
Yeah. So, last thing, final thoughts. I want your one big prediction for the Superstar Shakeup next week. I know we kind of glossed over a lot of it before the main event. One bold shakeup for next week.
One bold shakeup for next week. Oh my God, that's tough. Damn it, this is hard. I don't know.
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alexa Bliss goes to Raw.
Certainly a shakeup. God damn it, I don't know. Something bold. Something bold and daring. You know what? I used to pull this all the time, predicting shit. I didn't have any friends that were into wrestling, so I just predict shit with myself just to fuck around. And I'd always predict back in the brand split days, so I'm going to predict it again until this brand split ends. Every time they come to a draft or a shakeup, they swap the world title belts.
Ooh. So you're saying Randy goes to Raw and Brock goes to SmackDown?
Either that or literally, I mean, I guess it would be stupid to just swap the belts, but it is WWE we're talking about. But honestly, yeah, fuck it. That's kind of what I always would predict back in the day. Like, the world heavyweight, like, back when the world heavyweight was on Raw, the world heavyweight's going to go to SmackDown, and WWE's going to go to Raw. And eventually that did happen. Yeah, I think that would be, I mean, it won't happen. Unless SmackDown's ratings wind up doubling Raw's at some point, they will never consider it on the same tier. Raw is their A platform. Mm-hmm. So that's not going to happen. I mean, Randy Orton, yeah, they'd be more than willing to put him on Raw. He's Randy fucking Orton. But Brock Lesnar, a part-timer attraction star, nah, they're going to want him on what they consider. Yeah, but despite that, I'm still going to call it because, like I said, that's like that to me is the big change-up. It's too early for it, for fuck's sake, but I'm still going to predict it.
Yeah, so thinking about this week, Thursday we've got another great episode over on SoundCloud of Smart Money Wrestling Podcast. Another episode of Change the F Up coming your way tomorrow. And then Saturday, we've got a Slack Off the Show coming your way. And then we start it all again next week, Monday, with the return of Nate the Effing Great to the Raw review. So for Max, Beattie, and everybody here at the Elite Ringside Network, I'm Spencer Hart saying we will see you guys later on this week here on the Elite Ringside Network. See ya!
Peace!